Hi, I'm Kris.
And I'm Jeannine, and welcome to the Blue Fiber Tree.
As I knock the sign
She
over.
knocks it over.
I knock the sign over.
So, yeah, September 24th.
I'm so tired.
I'm tired too, but it's the last day of the Yarn Discovery Tour. Yay! It's been, about right on par with last year. So, about
Good.
the same number of people coming into my store. So, we've been doing good. I can't complain. We've been doing good. So these things sitting here, this is the knit pattern because you still have one more day. We're open 11 to 5 today. So you have one more day. Knit beret and the crochet project bag with the drawstring. And you can make this bigger. They're both made out of worsted weight yarn. I used Uptown Worsted. This is the hues because that's the variegated. These are the solids.
Rhonda did a bigger version of that.
She did.
And I love it. Like, she did a beautiful job on it's a great pattern. I was like, oh, what is that? She goes, that's the crochet pattern. I went, oh, you did it bigger. She goes, I did. I was like, oh, I like it.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to ask her what yarn she used because obviously it wasn't Uptown Worsted, but
No, I don't know. I didn't even ask her.
But it was a worsted weight yarn.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was something that she spun.
She did say it was her hand spun yarn.
Yeah.
That's right. And she's gonna felt it.
She is gonna felt it.
She's been doing a lot of wet felting, just tossing it into the washer and dryer, and she's been doing that
That would
a
just
lot.
freak me out. I'd be so scared. I'd be like, all right, it was nice knowing you. The last little thing that got put in the washer in my house was a beautiful, beautiful sweater jacket thing that I got. It was oversized, it was big, and my husband washed it, and it wouldn't even fit your grandson when it came out.
That's funny.
Note to self, don't let your husband do laundry, or at least not yours.
Mine does mine. He does good.
Yeah, well, Craig's domesticated in other ways. He's a good cook.
There you go.
Thank God. We wouldn't eat.
So, calendar, we were sitting here looking at this, and it's like...
It's a weird calendar coming up because I'm out. Because I'm traveling for football and stuff like that.
Is that why the first weekend in October, first
weekend, there's nothing there because I'm going to watch Oklahoma beat Texas.
Yeah, so our first release in October is October 8th, and typically we do calendar up to that.
Yeah.
We have one workshop before then, and then everything is the 11th and after.
Yeah. The 11th through the end of the month is really busy.
It's a busy month. September was a busy month too, but that's good. We like busy. So, Beginners Tapestry on the 29th from 4 to 8, which is that one.
You stuck.
No. There you go.
Beginners Tapestry. I'm gonna move the beret just a hair that way. There we go. So there's our Beginners Tapestry. What is it? A 3-hour class? 3-hour class?
It's a 4-hour class.
Basically, you bring in all of your odds and ends and pieces of yarns. If you have roving, you're welcome to bring roving. I usually have some here so that you can work on learning the sumac stitch that's in here. But this will teach you all of everything you need to know if you want to continue on in tapestry.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
It is fun. So you're going to learn some negative space. You're going to learn all the stitches that help hold your fibers in place so that you can create those shapes and they stay there. This super chunky yarn, this is Cocoa by Barocco.
And there's some art yarn tossed in with it. So.
Super chunky. Then she's got the roving, some regular worsted weight yarn.
Yeah.
So anything and everything, sky's the limit. And you can hold more than one strand together to get some other looks to your pieces.
Right. Like if you happen to be that person that only uses sock yarn, I bring it because you can hold 2 or 3 pieces together to still get looks that you want. You can use it singly, but it will take you a long time to do your tapestry piece.
And if you by chance have no leftover yarns, got a whole rack over there.
Oh,
all the donated
charity,
stuff. Yeah. So it's a great way to get a lot of different colors and textures and different weights of yarn to actually do that workshop.
No, I'm not crying.
No, it's the allergy season.
Oh my gosh, my allergies. I'm sorry, guys.
So we're going to briefly touch on the workshops that we do have coming up in that first week of October that we actually have them. and it is our advanced macrame wall hanging. Now, no one signed up for this last time, but we're gonna do it this time.
I also didn't have a lot of notice because I was late to the table getting the
Yeah.
piece done. My bad. A little too much time in the studio.
This is beautiful though, guys. You can pick whatever color you want for this.
Yeah. And I have the wooden stick. It's a piece of birch that we'll cut down and make sure that everybody has that. I really liked it. It was really fun to make and easy, but yet also like you have to think about the steps you're doing, because if you go out of order, you will not be able to create the piece that's in the center.
Right.
So I really, really like it.
It's a nice one.
Yeah.
It's pretty. So think about a wall that you want that on. The next one is a No-Skill Tapestry. Right there.
Oh my goodness. My arms don't want to lift anything right now. I've been lifting skeins and skeins of yarn for days. I'm going to let her hold that one. Okay. So this is the No-Skill Tapestry. You don't have to bring anything. Bring yourself. I provide everything that you need to do this, from the yarn at the bottom, your warp thread that we use, and the fiber that we put into the No-Skill Tapestry. And I'm very much looking forward to this. I like No-Skill Tapestries.
Yeah, and we like the change from the spring to the fall colors. So that's really
okay.
cool.
Next time we show this, it'll be a tree for Christmas.
Oh,
We're
yay!
doing a no-skill tree.
That'll be fun.
Hey, some people like to be festive.
So that was on the 11th from 5 to 8. So there's 2 workshops that day.
Yep.
Advanced macrame from 11 to 3, and the No-Skill Tapestry from 5 to 8. Then on the 12th, we have basic knots from 12 to 2. And on the 13th, we have beginners macrame from 12 to 4. So this is your beginners macrame project that you will walk out with. It teaches you all those basic knots.
Yep.
The entire workshop, including materials and workshop fees, is less than $75. And it's a 4-hour class. But that basic knots, if you don't want to do that, 2 hours, practice cording, and that's it. And that's on the 12th from 12.
Yeah, and in the basic knots class, you'll learn every knot that we have in the Learning Knots wall hanging. You just won't take home a project.
Right.
But you'll have all the tools, and then also the papers that you need to go back as reference to keep practicing your knots. Because some people just, it's not that they don't want to do macrame, say, they just might not want to do the traditional wall hangings with macrame. They want to do more of the project stuff that we do later.
Right.
So.
And you need these basic skills to do anything that's advanced.
Yeah.
And we'll have more advanced projects through the end of the year. It's only going to be October at that point.
Absolutely.
And then on the 13th from 5 to 8 is beginner spinning, with the second session being on the 27th.
You get to learn how to make this.
Yeah.
Your own
yarn.
Sorry, I had to bring it out.
And then on the 14th, which must be the Saturday, from 10 to 3 is rigid Heddle weaving. You use our looms to learn how to do something like this.
I love that one.
This one was fun. So I used Barocco's new carousel yarn as my warp, which typically when I teach, that's not what we do. And then I used the bamboo pop as the weft, which I flipped them.
Yeah, no, I love it.
It came out really nice. Super
It's
soft.
got a very different look.
Yes.
It's got really great drape.
Yeah, and I made this one really long too, see, because it goes, and that's folded in half.
Oh.
I just went, here's a table, there's a table, I don't care how long it is, let's just make it. And then I went, when I was doing it, I'm like, oh my goodness, how big did I make this thing?
You know me, I like long scarves, so I think that's fabulous.
This was cool. So it was a lot of fun. So full calendar up on the website, homepage, scroll down. September and October are up there. Pretty soon I'll start adding in November. We'll start getting into holiday stuff.
Probably shortly within the next video. Sometime in October's videos, you'll see the No-Skill Tapestry and No-Skill Macrame stuff that we're doing for the holidays. We have some Santas, some trees, some Christmas snowflakes or Christmas stars, whatever you want to call them. We have a tree for our No-Skill Macrame.
Yeah.
So, fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
I haven't come up with an advanced project for the holidays for macrame yet.
We'll figure one
My
out.
brain is on
She's on show schedule.
Oh, guys.
She's preparing for a show.
From the day this airs, for less than a month, like 3.5 weeks till the show.
Right.
Oh my God. I don't, when I do finally sleep, I sleep really, really hard. And then when I wake up, I go, oh God, how am I going to move? Today it was, I didn't know that the top of your knees, like above your kneecap, and that right under the cup of your butt cheek could hurt so bad.
That was me yesterday when I got home. I was on my feet so much.
I've never done so many squats. And not in the gym, not like the good kind of squats. They're going to make things look good. No, I'm doing the kind of squats where I'm squatting down, pulling wet yarn out of buckets, moving it over here, laying it over there. Things hurt. I need a vat of something that I can just lay in.
You need a hot tub.
No, because the hot tub's not good for all the swollen stuff. It's really not. I need a hot tub of ice.
Yeah, so you need one of those things that you see in the sports movies where they get into
with the football guy. Yeah, I don't know that I could get in that though. That'd be really cool. Put my whole no. There's certain parts of your body that should not touch ice.
So when it's wintertime and there's snow outside, she's just going to go fall into a snowbank.
Oh, no, because I'm never going to have to dye this much yarn again. The initial inventory for the new company is crazy. And some of you may not, when I say new company, some of you may not understand that. So I just want to clarify.
Sure.
So at Great Lakes, when I got when I got accepted to do SAF, which is Southeastern Animal Fiber Festival, I was like, oh my God, yes, but oh God, I can't do this by myself. And so from that, developed a partnership with my friend Sue, where in the knit shop with my teaching and my yarns that are here at Jeannine's place, I have my original alk&me. Mm-hmm. And the yarns and fibers that are here at Longtail Knits are exclusive to Longtail Knits. You can't get them online. You can't get them at my shows. They're specialty made for here. Now, Sue and I have pretty much dumped our entire life savings into a new company, which is still a part of alk&me, but it's a subdivision, and it's called alk&me Fiber Art Studio. Mm-hmm. And we will travel and do all the fiber shows that we can possibly get into. That'll be my online sales. If you saw my Cuyahoga Valley kits at Hale Farms, those were from alk&me Fiber Art Studio because it's separate from what's at Jeannine's. Those are the only things you'll find that were similar were the hat kits, but that was just a special request. But yeah, so we had to develop a whole entire new inventory. That's why I'm so tired. Yes. I'm basically taking everything that's in Jeannine's shop and starting from scratch instead of walking into her shop and going, so I'm going to take all of my stuff for the next 5 days while I'm out of town and you're going to have a big empty space in your store. I didn't think that was fair. That's not...
And you know what? I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's I keep telling everybody, it's getting ready to open up your own store. You have to have that beginning inventory. So that's where she's starting.
Yeah. And it's exhausting. And I forgot. I knew it was going to take a lot, but I didn't know it was going to take a lot.
But you guys are beyond the design and development stage. And now
Thank
it's
God.
Just getting
800 skeins left.
Getting yarns dyed and the fibers dyed and making those finished pieces that you have to do to take with you.
That's why I have to be done by a certain date.
Yeah. So. The dyeing all has to be done by this date so they still have time to finish all the weaving
all the
stuff
pretty
that they need to do.
And stuff and bats.
So which will be cool. You're going to get it done.
You like Hobbs? This is actually it's a heated thing and it's on my wrist so that
so she can work later.
So I can leave here and go sling yarn.
There you go. Well, today is a teaching day.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, and we're going to start showing you how to do Tri-loom weaving. So today we're going to show you how to tie on, get started, and start doing that weaving.
I like how she says we. I'm not
Me.
doing anything other than hold the camera.
She's holding the camera, asking questions. The next time that we continue with that piece, Kris will be active in it too, because she's going to walk me through how to lay in other yarns in it, like art yarns and things, because I still struggle with that
and there's
part of it.
a couple of ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll get a second piece started so that we can lay in something that you've already warped, and then also lay in pieces, because there's a couple different ways to lay in fun, funky yarns.
So we're going to do that on the second one. And then the third one will show you how to add fringe and get it off of the loom.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. So if you find that this video tutorial of the tri-loom weaving piques your interest and you want to learn, call me and we'll set up a time, because it isn't a normal scheduled workshop on my calendar, because it's not...
I think enough people don't know about it. They don't see enough people doing it.
Right. Because I'm the one that teaches it now, it kind of gets lost in the shuffle, because a lot of people don't ask for it. But we're going to start doing that again. And
listen, I love it. And if you know how to do the tri-loom and you're local-ish within a couple hours, I do a class called Try and Die, where you bring your tri-loom, and if you don't have one, I have enough 4-foot tri-looms for the world. But we come to my studio, we use all natural yarns and art yarns, and we weave our 4-foot loom, and then we dye it that day. And you don't have to have prior dye classes to do it. We're not learning any dye techniques other than how to dip dye this shawl. And it's fun.
And they're beautiful.
They
are so gorgeous.
That red one you made for Heather was just stunning.
So that is something that you could do extra, as well as make shawls. And if you make two the same, or Kris has one that's a back and a front, we'll show them to you. And the back is plain, but the front has all the fun art yarn and other fancy things. And then she crocheted them together and made a collar around the neckline. So it's a beautiful poncho.
Yeah, and we'll show those before the next, like when we go to lay in art yarn.
Yeah.
We'll show in the next video.
And there's another one that she used a lot of material.
Fabric.
As well as yarn in it. So there's a lot of options when it comes to tri-loom. It's just like Rigid Heddle.
Rhonda uses the small. She has the small tri-loom.
She does.
And she makes squares. And then puts the squares together for blankets.
Yep. I watched her take cotton yarn, and she made 3 or 4 of the same size triangles, and then she sewed them together, so she had a poncho, but it also had side seams so that it was more fitted.
That's awesome.
It is beautiful.
That's awesome.
So she's and that's the thing you can do. You can do it with fringe or without fringe, and then it's how you put those pieces together. If you have the 5-foot loom and you do 2 squares the same without fringe, and you sew the long sides together, guess what? You have a 5-foot square blanket. There are possibilities.
Listen, you know how every once in a while I'll reference the big pile of unfinished objects that I have? So, you know the big Rubbermaid totes, right? I have a big Rubbermaid tote of all these black and red triangles that my daughter made.
Oh, I remember that.
That mommy was supposed to crochet them all together or whip stitch. I didn't decide which I was going to do. And then back the blanket. So she had a blanket that she made. Whatever. Yeah, it's still in the bin.
But did
so
she
is all the fabric that goes on it. I think I'm one triangle short.
I was going to ask, did she get them all done?
I think I'm one triangle short, but I may just say forget it and put them all together for her for Christmas and surprise her. It's either that or I have to make her zombie superhero blanket, because I've had the fabric for that for 6 years. Am I ever going to get my blanket? No. I'm like, sure. Yeah, she went and bought all these different like Avengers fabrics, and then also zombie fabric. It's her super dead blanket is what she calls it. I mean, it's a super dead blanket.
Look at him.
You don't like it?
No, because what went into his head was the blanket that I never finished.
Oh, your coffin
The
blanket.
coffin blanket, yes.
Bob's dead blanket. See, we're making. Never mind. This is bad. All right, folks, we're getting way off track. We do this. It happens. Oh, by the way, say hi to Hobbs.
Hey, Hobbs.
He is my lifesaver today. Now I have Franklin and Hobbs.
Yep.
So, stay tuned. In the descriptions below, I will mark at what point you can skip to if you don't want to listen to the calendar today.
Mm-hmm.
You can go straight to the tutorial. However, the tutorial will be uploaded separately as well into our playlist,
Correct.
into the Blue Fiber Trees playlist.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to find it there.
Right. So those videos are great references for anything that you learn here. We try to have the backup videos for you.
I got to get some more spinning ones up there. I had a couple people ask me. So maybe after we get through Tri-loom, maybe we'll focus a series on different spinning techniques.
I need to do some more crochet ones too, just
Yep,
short ones.
you do.
So we'll get there.
All right.
We're just busy people. All right, guys. We'll see you back in a few minutes, okay? Bye.
Bye.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So here we go again. This is the first part of Tri-loom weaving. It is a class that we teach here in the store. It just isn't one that's normally on the schedule. You have to ask me if you want to take it. So we have the basics set up here, and because we're using the 5-foot Tri-loom, we have it on an easel. It just makes it easier. It's too large to manipulate on a table. You could do the 3-foot easily on a table. 4 is pushing it. You really need to have something that will hold it. And I have a clamp here so that this stays and it doesn't move. The tools that you're gonna need: a comb. You can use a pick for your hair. This is the quilling comb that we sell here in the store. It has rounded metal tips, which is perfect for when you're pushing your warps and your wefts back and forth. And then we use an Afghan crochet hook, which is just a long crochet hook. And I'm actually using an H right now, the 5.0 millimeter, because it goes nicely in between the nails. Okay, so those are the things you need to watch out for. I'm not going to need this for a while. It comes into play when we get, you know, a few rows on there. So Tri-loom weaving differs from rigid Heddle weaving, because rigid Heddle weaving, you're going to set up your warp, have it completely warped up, and then you're going to do a weft. This is continuous weave. You do the warp and the weft at the same time. Okay, so that's the biggest difference. When you're done, it's complete. The only thing left that you need to do is add fringe if you're going to put fringe on the sides for your shawl, or you can just leave it the way it is and just crochet chain across the top. And when we get ready to take it off, we're going to show you that. And then that way you are able to sew multiple pieces together to create blankets and larger pieces. So what I've got here is I have 3 strands of yarn, and they are in a basket on the floor down there. And you want to do it from behind and pull it up over. So this is how you do this so your yarns don't get tangled. So the first thing we're going to start with is a slip knot. And you want, if you're going to do fringe on a shawl for this, you want to make sure you leave a long enough tail that that gets incorporated into your fringe. So our first placement is over here, and you put the slip knot on that very corner nail and you pull it tight. Okay? The next step is to go between here. So you're going to run along the edge of those top nails, and you're going to walk this over, and this is your first weave. Now here's the thing: do not pull too tight on this. This will tighten as you add more to your piece. And if you start with it super tight like this, can you see that across the top? If you start with it super tight, you're not going to have any room to do any weaving, because it's going to be like a rug. It'll be so tight. So you want to give it some stretch. So your first piece is under the corner, you go up and around, okay? And then you come up and around, stay on there.
That first one's always a doozy.
It is. Up and around, okay? And then under the next nail down on the side, okay? And then we're going to walk this back across like this. And I will release some of that tension here when I go to do my first warp, because that is too much. Stay down. So you got to watch, make sure that they're not going to pop off. All right, so get yourself some strand. So here you go. These are multiple textures of yarn. So your next move is under the next nail down on the side. Okay? So our first weave is right here, right now. And these are going to be fun because that one does not want to stay.
It's the chenille.
It's the chenille. All right, that's fine. It's going to add a lot of character to the piece.
It will.
All right, so now what you do is you go over the bottom, under the top, grab your yarns, pull them through.
And when you go over, you are going over 3 yarns because you're using 3 yarns.
You treat the 3 as 1.
Right.
Okay.
I just want to make that clear. That's all.
Then you're going to place it on the next nail down on the side. Okay. Our next movement, these 3 guys need to go all the way across. And then they're going to go on the next nail on the side and to the right of this nail here. Okay. And I'll pull the chenille just a little bit more. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go over 3, under 3, which was the first pass, and up over the last one, and grab your yarn, pull it down through, and hook it on the next one down. So what I want you to see is whatever you do here is happening on the other end. So you're always going to have side up, side across, side up, side across. So this is the continuation. You're always going to have 2 sides to one top. And then we do it again. Walk it on over.
Got a nice shot of your hair. Sorry about that.
Perfect. It's all right. Sorry for the blindness because of the shiny hair. All right, so here we go. The chenille is a pain.
Yep.
So over the next yarn down, the next nail on the side, and then to the left of the one that isn't being used.
He wasn't on your hook.
It's because he's from the one above.
He popped off?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So stop messing with my work.
Okay. Sorry.
So then your next move is over, under, over, under. So do you see that?
Yep.
And then grab your yarn, pull it through, hook it on the nail, and walk across. So this is your basic step. So the next one down and up. And the chenille, I'll be fighting with the chenille the whole time, but that's okay.
That's normal.
So there you go. So it's around, and when you're weaving, you always start over on the bottom 3.
Yeah, if you're going under the bottom 3, you messed up somewhere and you need to step back and take a look at what you're doing.
So what you need to see is that it's over, under, over, under. So
Show
now
that
this,
again.
it's going to be over, under, and it's this that I'm talking about. So your next pass is always over, under, over, under, over.
Yep, and then grab that,
And
pull it
then you
down, and
grab
latch
this
to the next
one.
nail.
Pull it down. Doing this left-handed. A last one. There it is. Goes here, and then you go across. So
Awesome.
what you're going to see here is when we get over to the other side, this over, under, over, under, over is going to be the exact same thing on the other side.
Yep.
So one more time, walking this across.
And I'll tell you, when you're doing this and you get like 5-6 inches in, and all of a sudden you see a long weft strand that goes over 3 sections instead of 1, it means you missed an over under somewhere.
Right.
So that's the thing to watch for.
Yep. So it's very easy to do, and you kind of want to keep these guys. If you keep these guys separated like this, you can actually see better.
Yeah.
Your over under. And the other thing that is something that happens a lot is if you miss one, or here's the grab 2. Okay, you see this?
Yep.
It should have been 1.
There you go.
And then like that.
Yep.
But it's real easy to miss. If you look here, there's only 2 strands there. I missed one.
Okay.
So I need to go back and grab it.
It's your chenille, isn't it?
It's the chenille.
She's never letting me pick yarns for
Oh, I don't
a
care.
thing ever again.
Hey, I did the mohair one, so
Oh, gross.
you started it.
I did. That was the dumbest decision I ever made. Do not do the Tri-loom with anything wool unless you would like to lose your mind.
Or if you're experienced enough that you don't mind fighting it.
Yeah.
So these are your basics. So over here you're seeing in the corner it's starting to build out. And I take my hook and I just kind of push down. It's real easy to lift, pop up and off, so you have to be careful of that. And see here on this side, so see this? These haven't been pushed down yet. And so you can just push them down, and everybody is nice and neat.
Good.
So you would continue in this manner until you get to the part where you want to lay in some other yarns or fibers. And that is something that we are going to be showing you how to do in the next session of Tri-loom weaving, is how to lay in some different fibers and art yarns and anything else, some sparkle stuff, whatever you want to make it
Unique.
fun and funky.
Different.
Yeah, and different. So we would continue in this manner. What's going to happen, you can see it's growing from the corner to the middle.
Yep.
Corner to the middle, so they get longer passes. And as you get closer to the middle, these strands are going to tighten up because they have more
they absolutely will.
of the warp going through them. And then our end goal is when we get to this middle piece, we do a final pull through, and then we can fringe it. And then
Perfect.
we can get it off of there. So hopefully this is something that will excite you into wanting to learn how to do Tri-loom. And if you already do Tri-loom, this here is a perfect for the beginning. The beginning is always the hardest thing to start. We always forget how to do it. You got to do the slip knot, come across, do this, do that, and your first weave doesn't happen until you get back here in this corner. So yeah, you can do just 2 worsteds. You can do 1 super bulky. It just depends on how dense you want your fabric, but just remember when it comes off, it's going to do this a little bit.
It
and
will.
You might lose some spacing in it. So next time I'll show you the piece that I did using Dash, which is it's either a 5 or a 6 bulky yarn, and I held a DK cotton thread with it. Came out really cool, but when I took it off, there's no holes.
Yeah.
It just went boop.
Poof. Yep.
But it's also the yarn. The Dash is a very springy yarn, and that's what it did. And I needed to see what it was going to do. But anyway, so if you see the basket, all 3 yarns are down there.
And they will stay in the basket.
Yep. And the biggest thing is it has to come up over the top so they don't get tangled, so that you can go back and forth. So if you have any questions, let me know. Put them in the comments. We will make sure that we answer them. And if you want to learn how to do this, just contact me. It's like one of those, any weaving class takes about 5 hours to do it, and I'll be more than happy to show you how to do it. So you guys have a great day. I hope this helps, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.